Somebody stole Steve Vai's Swiss cheese guitar 36 years ago. Hey guys, welcome back to the Bald Shredder channel. So who remembers the Steve Vai green Swiss cheese guitar from the Yankee Rose video? I do. Well, apparently that guitar was stolen 36 and a half years ago. I didn't even know this story. And recently, after all this time, after 36 years, Steve Vai got the guitar back. So I'm gonna give you guys the highlights of the story, but if you want to read the whole story, I will put a link to it in the description so you can check it out. So the story goes that this guitar was made by one of Steve's childhood best friends. And it's the same guy that made his Flame guitar, remember that one? And a few others as well. So needless to say, it was a very special, one of a kind. You know, he really liked that guitar, right? So as I mentioned, he used it in the video for Yankee Rose. And then they were rehearsing for the Eat 'em and Smile tour. They were rehearsing in Pasadena, and that's the last place, that's the last time that Steve saw the guitar because it was stolen from their rehearsal place. And it's been gone, it's been completely missing all this time, 36 years. All right, so we fast forward to the present, and there's a young man named Ivan who discovers the guitar in his grandparents' attic in Tijuana, Mexico. He has no idea what it is, who it belongs to or anything, so he starts posting pictures of it on the internet. And then sure enough, eventually it gets to somebody that knows Steve Vai, and knows what that guitar is. So now they know, okay, this guitar, that's Steve's guitar that was stolen 36 years ago, it's in Tijuana. So they got a hold of that guy, Ivan, the young guy that found the guitar. They got a hold of him. And it turns out that the guitar was purchased by the people that lived in the house before Ivan's grandparents. So I guess when they sold the house or when they moved out or whatever, they just left the guitar in the attic. And there's no information other than that as to how those people got it, where they bought it, did they buy it in Mexico, did they buy it in the United States? I'm really curious. I mean, the story is great. It's a very awesome, feel-good story that Steve finally gets his guitar back after 36 years. But the most interesting part of the story is missing, unfortunately, which is like, where's the guitar been for 36 years? Did it go directly from Pasadena when it was stolen to that house in Tijuana? Has it sat there the entire time? Or has it been like, has it gone around and been sold to this person, sold to that person? That's what I'd really like to know. But anyway, so they got a hold of Ivan. Ivan's got the guitar. They arrange to meet, and they all meet up, and Ivan gives the guitar back to Steve Vai. I'm sure Steve never thought he was going to see that guitar again. Imagine, after 36 years, you would have given up hope probably many years ago and just thought, yeah, it's gone forever. And here's the really amazing part. Steve said when he opened up the case and took the guitar out, he said it was in exactly the same condition. It looked exactly as he left it when he saw it the last time in Pasadena 36 years ago, as if it had just been put in the case and left there all this time. So I want to say kudos to Ivan for offering to give it back to Steve. And he didn't have to do that. He could have been like, wow, this is a cool, one-of-a-kind guitar that was owned by a very famous guitar player. I'm going to try to sell it or something. But no, he didn't do that. He returned it to its rightful owner. So that's really cool. Now guys, have you ever had a guitar stolen? I have not, thankfully. I can only imagine the feeling. It's something I think about every once in a while, like, man, what if somebody stole some of my guitars or one of my guitars or all of my guitars? I know how I would feel. I would be pretty enraged, and I kind of have an idea of what that would feel like because about 20 years ago, I moved to Japan. I lived in Tokyo for a couple of years, like around 2001, 2002. And when I did that, I had to put almost all of my stuff in storage. And that included my comic book collection and a pretty large collection of Star Wars action figures in the packages, unopened. I had a lot. And they went into storage, and then one day in the middle of the night, some people went in there, they broke in, busted the lock off, took all my stuff, and that was it. Never saw it again. just thinking about it now just like gets my blood pressure up, and it's just like, oh man. So I can imagine it would feel something like that to have guitars stolen, especially a very special, one of a kind that has, very good sentimental feeling like Steve's guitar. But what about you guys? Have you ever had a guitar stolen? Or another piece of equipment, an amp, some effects pedals, whatever, anything like that? Do you know what that feels like? Do you understand? So I'm sure you can sympathize with Steve and then understand how great he feels now to finally get it back after all these years. Alright guys, so that's our feel-good story of the day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.